The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
You are listening to the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. 4 beer with a sports talk and a whole lot more. We are part of the Belly Up Sports Network. Listen in as Brent and Dave invite you to belly up to the bar with them to talk about everything in the world of sports, just like you would do at your favorite watering hole. It's sports, beer, and shenanigans. So belly up to the bar with us, grab a beverage, and let's get into it. The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, episode number 363, brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420pod at SeatGeek.com today and save $20 on your first purchase over there at SeatGeek. Remember, we are part of the Belly Up Media Network. Go to bellyupsports.com for all their great sports articles, other great podcasts, which is my guys over there at Craft Brewed Sports every Tuesday night. See Mike and the guys over at Craft Brewed Sports. Thank you for everybody who's listening to us. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and everything else on a daily basis here at 1420 World Headquarters, the new and improved 1420 World Headquarters. Dave, me and the ex-producer, we had a nice relaxing weekend. Yeah, we didn't stop the procession of unpacking or anything else. We took it a little less seriously over the weekend. We're not at each other's throats by any means right now. So it was a nice first weekend here at World Headquarters. We weren't busy been doing this and doing that, and it was quite nice. How was your weekend?
It was good as well. I had family in town. We went and watched a little bit of junior hockey on Friday night. Just a day on Saturday, and then we had my birthday supper with family over on Sunday. So it was a lot of visiting and family over, and didn't get as much football. I didn't watch a ton of NFL as I was watching my Grizzlies get their teeth kicked in by them pesky jackrabbits from South Dakota State on Sunday afternoon. You know,
Dave, I tuned into that game too yesterday as I was doing the odds and ends around the shack here, and that game actually wasn't as bad as the score. Like, it turned out to be I can't remember. I didn't see the final
23-3, I think, was the final.
23-3, but Montana Grizzlies left a lot of points on the table in the first quarter, especially where they probably should have scored a couple of touchdowns, and it was one field goal. That game was a lot closer in the first half than the score said it was.
Yeah, I agree. They were every bit as good as San Diego State. Turned them all
South Dakota.
South Dakota State. Turned them over a couple of times, and they just couldn't punch it into the end zone. And then, especially with a team as good as that team, you gotta take what they give you, and when they give you chances and turn the ball over, you just gotta put them in. You gotta make them pay, and Montana couldn't. And the writing was on the wall. Like South Dakota State just was a better team in the second half.
Yeah. They just warmed down. That was it. This national championship game is very good tonight. Michigan and Washington right now. I thought it was going to be a blowout. There was and Michigan's only had really 3 big plays that amounted to anything. Washington's hanging around. It's a great football game right now. You were watching? We're not even sure we're going to record tonight. How good this game is. I thought it was going to be Georgia, Florida State, the way the first two series turned out for Michigan.
Oh, you bet. I was the same thing. The Michigan, they obviously had those 2 long runs for the touchdowns, but even before those runs, they were controlling the line of scrimmage and doing whatever they wanted on both sides of the ball. And that Penix seemed a little bit rattled. He still isn't playing as well as I've seen him play this year. Missing some throws, also some drops on as far as the Washington receivers goes. And yeah, as we sit right now, it's Washington has the ball, a lot of time left to go in the fourth quarter, only down by 1. So should be a good game. Should be a thrilling finish.
He has an awkward release. I haven't watched a lot of Washington this year, and they won. They're obviously 14-0, so they're a good season. Obviously, he's a good quarterback, and he was second line for the Heisman Trophy. But he seems to just have an awkward release when he
a lot of movement.
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
Not that you and I are quarterback whisperers by any means.
Well, and he's also a lefty, which always looks odd for a little bit too. But yeah. It looks like there's a lot of movement going on there. But like, he has a gun. That guy can sling it.
No, so, he's a hell of a player. He's a great big body and everything else. He's a little bit banged up right now. So it's been a great football game as I'm watching right now. There's a couple of guys recording the game. I don't know why they're recording the game when they're at the game. That's one thing that drives me. And I know we talked about this a couple of years ago. When you're at an event, put your fucking phone away, because you know what? You can watch the entire thing up on YouTube if you want. Like maybe snap the odd picture here and there, whatever it might be. But there is no reason, especially a grown man, because the guys I was just watching there, they were closer to our age than they were Jasper's age. They were recording the what was happening on the field. Why in your right mind would you pay upwards of $4,000 for a fucking seat and record the game when it's right in front of your face?
Well, maybe they're FaceTiming for their dad at home. I don't know. But, it's, when we went to that Montana game this year, like I did take a couple pictures. I recorded
pictures
one
are fine.
play, and then I put the phone in my pocket, right? And then that was it. Like, but to have it out, like you would be missing so much. Like just the simple fact that you have to keep an eye on the TVs on your phone screen to make sure you're recording whatever it is you want for your person, for whoever the fuck you're recording for. So it definitely takes away the enjoyment of being an involved fan in the game.
I don't understand it for the life of me.
That either. Yeah.
I will never understand it. Years ago, me and Deanne, we went to a Guns N' Roses concert at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, and there was a guy. He had a selfie stick with an extension on it, sitting on the first baseline, recording the entire show. And maybe he makes money on YouTube. I don't know. But like, Jesus Christ, man, what is your return on investment when you can just watch the fucking concert? Or like, what are you making on YouTube by letting somebody watch a shitty video from your phone 400 feet away?
Well, wouldn't that mean? Yeah, like, and then risk copyright violation and stuff 100%. Like that. I'm pretty sure they don't really encourage that kind of behavior.
No, they frown upon that quite. I've been, because our YouTube channel is getting a lot of streams lately and everything else. So I am in to know a little bit about that, but like, fuck me, that drives me nuts. Dave, NFL, it doesn't make sense. Okay, the hockey game. I want to ask you a question. We'll get in that next segment. We'll talk about the hockey a little bit more. Dave, the NFL season wrapped up yesterday. I don't want to say there was many surprises. A disappointing team that didn't that kind of came up a little bit shit was a friend of the show, Garrett from 2 News and Sports News. His Jacksonville Jaguars pulled up another stinker in Game 17, the same way they did last year. Is Trevor Lawrence, as I can't remember what song it was, by Canadian rock legend Kim Mitchell, is Trevor Lawrence a whole lot of feathers, not much chicken?
I don't think it's, well, he played bad. Like even that very last throw, he didn't give the receiver a chance. He's not as clutch in the pros as he was in at old.
They were 8-3 at one point, or 6-3, or 7-3 at one point, or whatever it was, and they had a clear-cut path to the playoffs.
Oh, you bet. That was their division to lose, and they came out and they came from the. Yeah, they came from the front and pissed that division away, losing to a 5-win division rival in Tennessee. You don't deserve to go to the playoffs. And, I wonder, he did get a bit of a bad break having Herb there his first year, but Doug Peterson figured it out. Kind of figured it out, got the train back on the tracks, going in the right direction. But it kind of makes me wonder if Doug Peterson is the culture shift guy that the Jaguars hope he is, because it only took him 2 years after that Super Bowl to find his way out the door there in Philadelphia, and that wasn't his team. He came in there, won quick, and then 2 years later he was out the fucking door. So I wouldn't put all the blame on Trevor Lawrence. He has talent. But now it's, I guess next year is his fucker walk year, right? Now, are you as good as as your build, or are you just another one of these flameouts that we're trying too hard with? Because you don't do that as a team in a shitty division. And now even next year, it's going to be harder because CJ Stroud and the Texans are looking pretty tight now too. I like that team. They're a good looking team.
Like
pretty
for
fun
a
team
while
to play
there,
for.
like I remember in I think it was week 10 when you fucked me with them that saying that they were the next coming of the fucking San Francisco 49ers from the 1980s. And then they ended up losing that week, and my football pool went for shit. It's not your fault. I finished in 7th in that fucking thing. I dropped pretty bad. Once I started taking it seriously, I went down the tube. I'm the biggest fraud in football. I really, really am. There's no getting around that. But like you look at that Jacksonville team, how they just didn't do anything, and you look at Peterson, how he was a coach for Super Bowl for a Philadelphia team that's very good. Now, a Philadelphia team right now. Wow. I have never seen a team, I don't think in any sport in my life, back into the playoffs like they have. Yes, the NFL has less games than baseball and hockey, obviously, but a team like this who was 10-1 at one point and are backing in the playoffs at 11-6, I think they are.
Lost 5 of their last 6 games. Ooh.
That ain't good. That's not good. And they got to be the city of brotherly love. They aren't the friendliest people on the planet. And they take their sports very seriously. If they lose out in the first round of the playoffs, which it looks like they're probably going to, because it's the way the season's trending, heads will roll from the quarterback right on through. Heads are going to roll in Philadelphia.
Oh, you bet. Like it's. Expectations were so high last year, and then a lot of blame for that Super Bowl loss went to can't remember his name right now, but he is now the head coach of Arizona. Good, let him go. That guy couldn't coach his way out of a wet paper bag, and he cost us the Super Bowl. And now that coach from last year came in and beat you with Arizona in Philly, and fingers are being pointed everywhere. This defense fucking sucks. Jalen Hurts can't see. He forgot how to quarterback.
Was he hurt? Because I know he got benched the second half, and was he hurt, or was it one of those things like, well, we're not going to win fuck all here? Because I saw that his hand was a little bit banged up there, but man, oh man, that guy can't seem to get out of his own way right now. Like he really can't.
I think he might be a little dinged up, but then on the flip side, everybody is dinged up, and then also that you have to at a point, they wanted to win if they had any chance of leapfrogging Dallas for the number 2 seed. They had to win that game, but after you go out and let the fucking Giants curb stomp you for 3 quarters, why wouldn't you pull out all your starters? Because even though you're on a downward slide and can't stop it, you still need him. You're not going to win. Well, maybe you might, like without him.
Other teams have been doing it.
Yeah, and you're going to Tampa Bay, because who knows what Tampa Bay team's going to show up. But the way you've been playing, losing to 3-win teams and 5-win teams, like you got to pull your head out of your ass right fucking now, or that's going to be a long off season for the Philadelphia Eagles.
The big one last night was the Dolphins playing the Bills and winning your end deal, whatever it was. And the Bills ended up winning that football game, but still you had old Joshy there throw a couple of interceptions. I don't give a shit. Yeah, they're in the playoffs. Yes, they got a puncher's chance to get in and do some damage. But if you are consistently turning the ball over like Josh Allen does, you ain't doing fuck all. You're not winning anything. You're not. And that's been a season-long and a career, not even a season-long issue with him. It's been a career-long issue with him that he's, throwing interceptions at the wrong time, forcing the issue that he has. And that's something that's entrenched in his head, because he went to University of Wyoming, right? One of those FCS teams and everything else, where he's the big cat on campus, everything. And to not be able to rein that in when you don't have the guys around you to fix your mistakes. Josh Allen might be he's obviously a very good quarterback, but the way his decision-making process is, that's a detriment to that football team. Like they wouldn't be where they are with him, but there's times they'd be better off without him.
I completely agree. It's everybody says that's the team
Michigan
you don't want
just
to
scored
play
again there, so they're up. But
oh shit, you're 20 seconds ahead of me because I'm streaming.
Okay.
So now
I won't say another word.
Okay, it's 2nd and 7 from the 12. I hope they punch it in. Oh, there's that Corum. Fuck, he's slippery, eh?
Good little player.
Oh, you bet. He's gonna be an NFL back next year
For about a week and a half.
Josh Allen and end zone interceptions when the game was at 0-0 still. Quit playing fucking hero ball. And everybody says like Buffalo Bill, no one wants to play Buffalo, and I get it. But you have it's just flip a coin.
If you have a good defense, they do.
You bet, because Josh is going to hand you the ball over sooner or later. He for sure is, because that's what he does.
He's good for
Michigan,
two.
Sorry, not Michigan. Sorry, if Buffalo Bills ever decide to play mistake-free football, they're your Super Bowl champs. But they just can't make it through a game without playing mistake-free football on the offense and on the defense. They give up big plays here and there. Their defense is pretty stout. Their defense is more consistent than their offense. But, if Josh Allen in the playoffs, you give good teams short fields, you're going to find yourself packing your bags and talking about next year pretty fucking quick.
Yeah, it's crazy how it all turned out yesterday with a lot of teams that you thought were. And the NFL, like Cincinnati is done because of their quarterback situation. They didn't have the greatest season after Joe Cool got knocked out. It's just like there's a lot of teams that you thought would have had better seasons. And the one thing I laugh about every year in, year out, and it's not so much of a fantasy football thing, is that the Pittsburgh Steelers found themselves a way to get in. And just by being like mediocre at best, but they took advantage of a team that won the conference, not just the division, but they won the conference. Didn't play anybody and then they had adverse conditions, obviously, on Saturday night where Baltimore wasn't playing anybody. Like if how would I word? The Pittsburgh Steelers might be the team that's fallen into their ass into a warm pool of butter more than anybody else in recent memory. I don't know who is, because they didn't score points. They're on their second string quarterback, on and on and on. A great team. Third string, sorry. Not a great team, but they just scored 17 points and now they found themselves in the playoffs again.
And they must, I don't know. And then, Colin firing Matt Canada and people calling for Mike Tomlin's head. You know what? The motherfucker just got you into the playoffs again in the AFC. And the AFC's, there's a lot harder, better teams in the AFC from 4 to 10 than there are in the NFC. There simply is. And they found a way to sneak in again. And, it makes me think, like I was talking about Jacksonville and the culture they're trying to change with Doug Peterson and like the culture of a team. Like Pittsburgh, you talk about culture change all you want with different teams. Some teams have it and some teams don't. Pittsburgh has a culture of being competitive and winning. And I don't know how you bring that in. I don't know how you change that. Consistency is one, like at the ownership, and then consistency at head coach. And it's tough. It's tough, and everybody wants to have a winning culture and everybody wants to do good. But, Pittsburgh, love them or hate them, which I'm on the latter, but I got to respect them because they have a winning culture and they bring it year after year after year. And I don't know that I said it so many times, like they were just lucking into wins in the first 5 games, like whatever, they were 6-2 or whatever.
No, we talked about it until week 11.
These games?
We were talking about it to week 11, like what the hell is going on here and how are you still doing it and everything else is going on. Like, Jesus Christ, like what the fuck is going on here? And they just kept doing it and it's fine. And I wouldn't put $10 on them but I also wouldn't put $10 against them against Buffalo. I wouldn't.
Right. Well, they're going to Buffalo
like we just talked about. Fucking Josh Allen can piss a game away if it's close, and somehow Pittsburgh finds a way to win a game. I don't know how they do it. They fall into warm. It's supposed to be colder than fuck next weekend in Buffalo. So who knows? Who knows?
Who does know? It's just going to be tough to throw the ball, and they have a stout defense. They're going to be without TJ Watt, which sucks for them. But next man up. This is the game, and Buffalo's next.
One of the games that's coming up next weekend that's kind of got me intrigued a little bit. Rams Lions with a team that traded quarterbacks. That's one Stafford and Goff and everything else. It's gonna be kind of interesting. I fully expect the Rams to win that game, but the Lions at home, they haven't won a home playoff game since Christ was a Cowboy. Really, when it comes down to it, like he might have actually played for the Cowboys, and Jerry Jones was still total in the fucking field, but everything else. But like, that's one game that's kind of intriguing because like a trade that comes back not to haunt both teams, that both teams have and both fan bases. Not there's a big fan base in Los Angeles. But that's one that kind of intrigues me for next weekend is that Rams Lions game.
It's going to be, the storyline, like it writes itself, right? Matt Stafford didn't do anything wrong, but you don't think Jared Goff is going to try and shove one up old Sean McVay's ass? You bet he's going to come in with a chip on his shoulder, and I hope he has a good game. I don't want him to be so hell bent on revenge that he forgets to stay within himself, right? You get too amped up, and all of a sudden you're playing like shit, and then McVay's going to have scoreboard on you for life because you finally had your chance of revenge and you puked all over your jersey.
Well, that's the one thing that I can't remember the name of the Lions coach, but he's pretty
Campbell.
Matt Campbell. He's a pretty rambunctious guy. So
he runs hot.
So he might get Goff a little bit fucking amped up and go like, this is your time, this is your time, this is your time, and like the best thing Campbell could do is to not football coach Goff.
Right.
Just have a cup of coffee or maybe have a water. Have a whatever. There's no caffeine.
Stay off the Red Bull and nitrous.
Just relax and let's just relax and get in there. Let's not get amped up. Let's not football this thing because at the end of the day, a quarterback, I think a relaxed quarterback. You look at over the years how Brady was always relaxed and Joe Montana was always relaxed, and obviously, and John Elway was relaxed. These quarterbacks who are they don't seem to succeed very much.
No, more like you're thinking of someone like Baker who's just running 100 miles an hour, hair on fire all the time, right?
Hair straight back, eyes are crying, fucking 100-meter dash or 90-meter room.
Yeah, either it works or it doesn't, right? Yeah. And a lot more times it doesn't. So we're gonna find out. And you're right. That's the storylines right themselves. There's another game I want to touch upon in a particular situation. I don't know if you saw that in the Saints Falcons game. Do you know what I'm going to talk about? So the Saints were up by a ton, and it was second and goal, and the coach, the New Orleans coach, I believe his name is Dennis Allen, said, "Okay, let's just kneel on it and let's take the win."
I did.
And then Jameis Winston changed the play at the line to get a running back a touchdown. Jamal Williams, who hadn't had a touchdown
because
this year.
Winston got put in throughout that game for mop-up time to take a knee to do this. So he went, you know what? Fuck you, coach, whatever the coach's name is for New Orleans. And he went and he ran his own play. And the Atlanta coach who got fired at midnight last night.
Art Smith, he was right. He wanted
not even midnight Eastern, midnight fucking Mountain Time. Like at 2 a.m. he got fucking canned. He got fucking axed. There must have been a fucking deal in his contract, whatever time it was. And Jameis Winston went, "Fuck you, watch this," and ran a play which should have been like you said, should have been a kneel play, and the game off him. Jameis Winston went, "No, we're going to score a touchdown," because that guy might have been getting some kind of a bonus for a touchdown. I don't know. Who knows?
I think it's just a good guy. And he hadn't had a touchdown all year, and
Winston goes, "All right, run one in, take the football home to your parents, your family, whatever it might be." Yeah, I thought it was great.
You think that's hilarious? I think that's why Jameis Winston isn't an everyday quarterback. He like all the tools, no toolbox. Like that's like fuck. I asked you to kneel down. And this is the fucking garbage.
But what does that hurt? 2 teams going nowhere. The season's over. Fuck, it don't hurt nothing. And if you have a guy who's a teammate like that, I think that's a great move, man. I do.
And I do see both sides.
I know your side of things. Like if I can't trust him to do this on the last game of the season, how can I trust him to do it in the first game of the season? Right. But like let's quit overcoaching these fucking athletes because and quit being football guy and just let them fucking play the game.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Sorry, I'm watching the game that Penix, they had him and they got a pass interference. Like that's
don't worry about it.
Nonetheless. But like, so if you're Jameis now, like what if you're a free agent and you're not going back to New Orleans, that coach doesn't want you anymore. What do you do? I don't know what you do. I don't know what you do. I do because we always say
if that coach is that butthurt over that.
Well, because
football
we do
coaches can fuck like you just calm the fuck down.
And we always say,
who cares?
If you don't like it, do something about it, right? But I could see how they were in victory formation and then.
No, I running the score up and on because I'm against that as well. But at the end of the day, these are grown men who are playing for nothing at this point. Yesterday, both teams didn't have to be there, other than their owners are making them go because it was a nothing game. One coach was getting fired no matter what. Fucking 9 hours afterwards. So on and on it goes. If either of those guys are butthurt, I already seen it. If either of these guys are that butthurt about that. They can both coaches can fuck off. If you're that soft as a coach, what do you think the rest of your team's going to be like? You're an idiot if that makes you upset.
Are we talking about the Atlanta coach or the New Orleans coach?
Both. If the Atlanta coach is mad, then don't get beat by fucking 106 points all season long. And 2, if you're the New Orleans coach and you're quasi X-star quarterback isn't following the rules at game 17 with 3 seconds left. He's like, whatever, dude. Like, fuck. This guy wants a touchdown. He's going to have this for the rest of his life. He's probably not playing this team next year. If you're that hurt, he's not following the rules, not following the way of football. Rah. They can both fuck off. Like, seriously.
It is. I
at the end of the day, the players fucking the players are the reason why. The players are the reason why people go and watch. The players are the reason you don't vote. You don't have coaches on your fantasy football team. You have players on your fantasy football team, and most people only watch football because they're fucking fantasy football. So all these people who get butthurt over that shit, shut your fucking yap. That meant nothing to anybody.
And I noticed that Art Smith is a lot bigger than I think his name is Quinn, the coach of Atlanta. He's not a very big guy, but he's not doing that kind of fucking shit with that Dan Campbell in Detroit.
No, Campbell would have folded like a fucking lawn chair.
He would have just slapped him and said, "Excuse me, I put my hand out, good game, and you're gonna fucking yell at me. You come at me with respect,
fuck off,
son." Like Dan Campbell would have slapped the shit out of him.
Don't give up the other fucking 40 points every fucking game all season long, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, it's not our fault we won by 47, right? Like, so the last 7, sorry.
Did that hurt anything? Really?
Yeah.
You're already fired. I hate to break it to you, Mr. Smith. You were fired 2 weeks ago. But the fucking owner didn't want to pay somebody else give him a raise to be the interim head coach. Fuck off. Like, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. But I thought it was kind of funny.
It's really funny. It is. Like, I get both sides to an extent. I'm not a fan of running things up, like especially middle of the season. But when guys aren't even wearing their pads anymore. It's like, fuck, the season's over, man. Everybody has their fucking plane tickets fucking booked something as soon as the game's over, they're not even showering. They're gone.
So, like, that's an interesting thing. Like in different sports, there's different rules for garbage time, right? Like you're not allowed to score a touchdown with 10 seconds left when you're up by 20. You're not allowed to score a touchdown. We know that now. In baseball, you're not allowed to steal bases in the 8th when you're up by 10. And even some managers get bunt, or some managers get butthurt even if you hit home runs. Like, was that La Russa that was getting his fucking panties in a knot because guys were hitting home runs?
Yeah.
But in hockey, you have to score on the empty net, don't you?
Every time. So why in hockey are you allowed to score empty net goals, but you can't get garbage time fucking hoops? Or because there was even some this year that I saw that coaches were getting fucking butthurt a little bit about like the first power play unit being out in the ice when it's 6-2. I need my team to fucking be on the up and up when I get to fucking game 68. I want them playing. If you want your team to fucking be better, don't give up fucking 4 goals on the power play. Maybe I'll put my best unit out, and I'll help your fucking power play or penalty kill unit out. Be better. Like I get it. Like if it's an absolute fucking shit show destruction, like 6-2's nothing in hockey. Like whatever, it happens every night. There's probably someone lost 6-2 tonight. If it's 13-2, I get it. Or in football, if it's 63-3, whatever happened with Georgia and Florida State. Or in one other sport, maybe in baseball, when you have a 14-3 fucking baseball game.
And you got a position player on.
I get it.
It's over. Let's just run clock.
But in general, I get that. But with football,
it's a man's game being played by man, and then
and there it is. These cocksuckers, because you know how much I dislike football guy, because they're such manly men when the game's close, but they're fucking cocksuckers. They're pussies. They're pussies when things are going a little bit not their way, right? They're the big bully. They're the big bully when things are fucking all peachy keen jelly bean, but the second things are going a little bit sideways, they're Biff from fucking Back to the Future.
Yeah, all these alpha males, regardless of what sport, once they feel they're being disrespected,
a little pushback.
Yeah. Oh, you're disrespecting me, and now they're gonna get all pissy, whether it be try and get in a fight or like hold me back. Those hold me back guys, right? But then. Fuck.
No, I saw that. Yeah, I laughed at that, and then I saw I saw the fucking the backstory of that. I was like, holy fuck, you're an idiot. I think
Winston is an idiot. Like if 100%. If he had a toolbox, he would be. I don't know. He'd be having a Hall of Fame career because he has the talent. He just doesn't have the fucking brain. And it's so, it does make me laugh because I don't care about the Saints or the Falcons or Jameis Winston. So it does give me some entertainment. I was just,
I found that really funny that, and they're like, I've talked to baseball coaches a lot about this, and baseball players and hockey players a little bit. And, especially coaches. Well, if you don't want to be humiliated, don't go down fucking by 15 points. Right. It's not the other team's fault.
And it does happen, but where you got people sitting in the stands. People came here to watch this shit. So,
especially at the professional level.
Mm-hmm.
Like not so much at the youth level. I get it more so at the youth level. I get it 100%. But at the professional level, when you're belly aching about getting smoked, don't get smoked.
Yeah, the season ticket holders aren't getting any
they're not getting a discount.
Reduction in tickets. No. So
just because you gave up in the first half doesn't mean that the beer prices went down for the second half.
Yeah. If you're embarrassed and that you're getting booed by your home fans, you know what? They're not booing because you're playing well. Okay, so what can we do different? Figure it out, motherfucker.
Get mad at their team for scoring again. Yeah. You scored again. Yeah.
You guys are winning by a lot. Like, you're not my little brother. Play nice.
And the thing is, like with the NFL, they do have a lot of end of season fucking. I don't know the guy who scored a touchdown to get that Smith all pissed off, but you have a lot of guys who have bonuses in their contract, and a lot of those bonuses might come in week 17.
I read the headline, but I didn't have a chance to go over like this championship game started so early. I didn't have a really good chance to catch up on shit. DeAndre Hopkins in Tennessee, he was one touchdown short of receiving a big bonus and that kind of thing. So
there it is, right?
Yeah, and I don't know if Tannehill was trying to get him the ball. Like I said, I read that.
There was the kid in I don't know his name. Don't care. There was the kid in Los Angeles, the Rams. He needed 21 yards.
Nakua. Yeah. Just set the record.
For the most by rookie. Got the receptions out of the game. Done. No, Travis Kelce needed 30 yards for whatever it was.
No, but he was in civvies. But Clark, he needed a sack for $1 million bonus, and then when he got it, they had a party.
Yeah, got a milli, right?
Yeah.
So there's this and that, and there's different guys who, you know what? Fuck it.
Exactly.
Dave is the thing. Are the coaches? Do you wonder if the coaches, because that'd be collusion? Did the owners go to these fucking coaches and say, "Hey, can you not play that guy for 10 minutes, whatever it might be?" Right? Like, whoa.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's not the coaches' money unless they're getting actual texts from the owners before the game. Like,
that would get out though.
We got the 4 seats sewn up. I do not. We got $1.8 million in bonuses on these 3 players. I do not want to see them met. Right?
If a billionaire's worth about 1.8 million, he's a fucking idiot too.
I get it. I just made it up. But
but I it's still $1.8 million. Like, I don't care how much money you have. 1.8 is still 1.8.
Oh, it's right. A bonus and it's in the contract for something, and
so they must budget for that.
Exactly. And then, but in game 12, right, your team's up 35-3 in the third quarter. And they sit you and it's like, fuck you. I need that bonus money. I got to average 8 catches a game and 100.
They know. I mean, they do the math when they go home, or their wife does the math for them.
Right. And then, just because I still want those catches, they bench me after I've gotten the bonus. Okay. And then I'm fine. But I want that bonus money. And then players have a genuine bitch. And like, if they're getting benched and sat down for non performance reasons, I'd be right fucking livid if I'm getting benched. Just making me work harder in game 14 through 17. Because we're kicking the shit out of Denver on a Tuesday here. Sorry, on a Thursday here. I don't know.
Going back to Denver. Dave, every Monday night we wrap up our week. Now we're wrapping up the actual NFL season, the regular season. Anyways, we're with our 3 F's: frauds, favorites, and fuck that team. Who do you got this week? I watched a little bit yesterday, not a whole bunch, because I watched a few games here and there. Had him on in the background as we were just fiddle fucking around the house here. But who do you got for your frauds, favorites, and fuck that team? And it looks like your Michigan Wolverines are on their way to their first national championship since 1902.
1902. It's been a bit, but it hasn't been that long.
Been a week.
Yeah, they've. I think they have proven themselves to be the best team in college football. I really have.
Yeah.
All you Big Ten haters can fuck right off.
I ain't changed my mind on that, Dave.
But you can still fuck right off, Brent Redlinski, and acknowledge that the Michigan Wolverines
are a
great season. They won the game, their conference game they were supposed to, in convincing fashion. They handled Alabama, even though it was in overtime. They should have won by more.
I mean, they beat them.
So it's 34-13 here with a buck and a half to go. Yeah. And they could have won this game like literally, we talked about it. They could have won this game 60-13.
It looked that way for a bit, but yeah, congratulate the Michigan Wolverines for winning 4 games this year. Way to go, guys. Anyways, Dave, who's the
the fraud this week? I don't know how anyone could say. Well, there's 2, but because I picked the Jaguars a little bit ago, I'm going to say Miami. Miami, that's a bad look, guys. You had the Bills at home for a home win. To sew up the
playoffs.
Miami's still in the playoffs, but to sew up the AFC North Division or East Division, and you laid a fucking egg. You guys weren't even close. Josh Allen was begging you guys to take a lead in that first half, and you couldn't. You wouldn't. I don't know if you're not good enough. I don't know if Tua has the intestinal fortitude to lead a team. I don't know if this coach has the intestinal fortitude, but Miami, you laid a fucking egg on the national stage. So Miami's my fraud.
My fraud right now, as I watch the Michigan Wolverines leave the field right now, the biggest fraud in football right now for me is John Harbaugh, for the reason he fucking avoided the Gatorade shower. And this is fun as I'm watching this live. Like, just take it, man. I know you don't like your khakis getting wet and your hat that you probably wear every day and everything. Him and his dad dress the exact same. It's really quite creepy weird. It's weird, but
it is.
So my biggest fraud right now is Jim Harbaugh. Like, can he just not be football guy for like 3 seconds of his life? Like, just don't. Yes, you just won a championship. Yes, you're but take the Gatorade bath. Take it like a fucking man. Like, just take it.
It's what makes him tick.
It doesn't make you less of a person if you take the Gatorade shower. And he just got one. He got another one anyways. But Jim Harbaugh is the biggest fraud in football. He's a weird guy. He's a weird
he's as weird as it comes.
You gotta have a little bit something different between the ears to be an elite guy at any sport at any level, right? And Harbaugh is one of those guys. So he's one of the biggest not a fraudulent sports guy, but a fraudulent human being. Like, he's an alien of sorts. He's my fraud.
Yeah, I don't know if he has kids or a wife or anything like that, but it must be a pretty.
They left him. If he did, they left.
He has oatmeal every morning. I don't even know if he drinks. Does he have a cocktail every now and then, or it's just like milk and steak and eggs?
No, he's probably fucking some kind of a quinoa fucking, who knows?
He has red meat 10 times a week.
He's weird. Like, him and his dad look the exact same.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Well, it's a good bloodlines, right? It's good bloodlines with his brother John being with the Baltimore Ravens, and then Jim is, and then it's great. Like, I just find Harbaugh to be a bit of a weird dog.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about it. Yeah, he doesn't. He gives a shitty interview. He's just a ham and egger, right? And he doesn't care. He doesn't care, and that's kind of what makes great coaches and whatever. Like, when you don't care, it's so freeing to do what you want. As long as
I think maybe football guys have to be that way a little bit,
because there's so much going on, right? There's many moving parts all the time.
Why don't they cut? No, this is completely. This isn't actually rehearsed at all. This isn't anything. Why don't they cut down on the number of fucking players they got to coach? Think about that. If they didn't have 80 guys in the fucking roster and 14 fucking coaches that they coach and blah, 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 they could probably enjoy their lives a little bit more. Like, I would bet you if there was a 40-man roster and 4 coaches, fucking Belichick would smile more. Harbaugh wouldn't be a fucking weirdo wearing fucking khakis all the time if they would just cut down on what's going on.
You need the bodies. In college, you need the bodies.
No, fuck no, you don't.
What do you mean you don't? We talk all the time how injuries are depleting the product.
They take guys out because they drop a ball. Could you imagine if every time somebody missed a pass in the National Hockey League, they took them off the ice? Think about that.
You need depth.
they use that as an excuse.
In college, you need to you're developing players for next year, right? Like half these kids.
You watch those college games sometimes. There's 120 guys in jerseys to the sideline.
Oh fuck yeah! Like you're right. They don't have enough
body
numbers.
is a player on the fucking team.
Oh, you bet. They do, but I hear what you're saying, but like not all those guys are on scholarship, and you're developing the program. Like you have a third of those guys that aren't going to see the field in a year unless it is mop up duty.
Take them outside, take them out the field, put them upstairs, put them wherever, have them selling 50-50s in the stands.
Yeah, well, you're a red shirt. Do you get a ring now? Like, do they give all these? Like, who pays for the rings? Does the university? Does NCAA? Like, or a booster?
Some booster.
That's good for these kids. Good for
Johnny's car wash in Ann Arbor just fucking paid for everything. Whatever. Yeah.
Well, I don't think it was that's one hell of a car wash. I'd like to see what kind of business they do if they're buying rings.
There's some stuff behind the scenes anyways. Who's your actually, let's not do our favorites. So it'll be you'll say Baltimore and I'll say San Francisco going on and on. Pick a game. Who do you got going on in the wild card weekend? Are they still doing super wild card?
Well, yeah, in fact, Kansas City. Who's in Kansas? I think Miami.
The Dolphins are in Kansas City.
Is in Kansas City, and so I got DAZN here in the States, so I'll be able to watch it. Those poor fucks in the States. If you're not in Kansas City or in Miami proper, you got to fucking pay $6 for Peacock subscription. They're putting that on a streaming service that you got to fucking ante up for. And the article I read said that there's no 1 week free trial. They can that. So
full meal deal, or else you're not watching.
Yeah, they're getting the full meal deal, and then a full third to a half of those people are going to forget to cancel subscription after a month, and then they fucking got you. So
that's so gross.
Yeah. So the games actually start on Saturday, don't they?
Yes. Browns, Texans.
Saturday, Cleveland,
we got Browns,
Houston.
Texans, Dolphins, Chiefs on Saturday. You got Steelers and Bills, Packers, Cowboys, Rams, Lions all on Sunday. And then Monday night, to drag it on even fucking further, you got Eagles, Buccaneers.
The one I'm really hoping is a good game is I would like to see Green Bay hand it to Dallas. I would love to see that. I would love that. As far as a potential upset, I don't even know if it would be an upset. I'd like to see Tampa beat Philly. Those are the games I think might be the best. We said Buffalo, and I just can't see Pittsburgh beating them. I can't see Miami beating KC. Cleveland, Houston should be the best game to watch. I think that might be a really good game.
We'll talk about more on Thursday night. We'll give our predictions Thursday night because the prediction shows are quite ridiculous. But I think the one game that might be my biggest upset of the weekend, the Steelers will beat the Bills. I don't know why. They just fall into wins. They just fall into wins.
I think, yeah, I hear what you're saying. And
wins.
If Josh Allen wants to turn over the ball, then Pittsburgh's going to be more than happy.
Defense is good enough.
Yeah, I think they are too.
That's my upset of the weekend. Now that we're on week 17 and week 18 actually of the NFL season, we'll probably wrap it up. Maybe not. Who knows? But one of our very last, there was only like 3 or 4. Maybe we keep going on. Who is your fuck that team for the last weekend of the National Football League season?
Fuck that team. I don't know. I gotta make sure they're not on here. Oh, I just said Philly just 2 weeks ago because holy fuck, I would be so mortified being a fucking Phillies fan. Sorry, Aaron, but I can't. You know it. It's not. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Let's see. My final fuck that team of the year. I don't have them down. New England Patriots, why don't you guys go fuck yourself? You know, Bill Belichick, you've had a good run. I saw a thing where he said he's not stepping away. So Bobby Kraft either has to show him the door or change the locks, because Billy B says he's not going anywhere, and you've ruined the culture. Like, so now that we do kind of know now for sure that the culture was the symbiotic relationship you had with Tom Brady, because you can't do fuck all without him, and you've gotten worse and worse and worse. So sorry, Billy B, you're a Hall of Fame coach. You got your 6 rings, but you and your New England Patriots can go fuck yourselves.
Yeah, I thought that he would have gracefully and get it over with today. Other coach and GMs were getting fired across the league, and last night, just, you know what? It's over, man. It's time to move on. It is. Like, it's over. And then to hang on, and because, like we said before, football fans or sports fans in general have a very short memory. And once you start getting this team that's no wins and no wins and no wins and no playoff appearances, people get a little bit tired of that shtick, right? So Bill Belichick, he needs to fuck off. It's time to go. Go to a different team. Buy something.
Yeah, you're not. You're clearly not the smartest guy in the room anymore. And you know what? Not even go somewhere else. You're done. You're done. It's over. Just go fishing. Or
like, what are you holding on to?
What are you holding on? Like, why? Like, you can find a different.
You're never going to replicate what you've done.
I've seen him behind the mic, like giving speeches, and he even sat on that College Game Day panel one day. He was entertaining and likable, and he had good stories. So it's kind of like Curb Your Enthusiasm, a show I love watching. This next season is going to be the last one, and then Larry David himself, he's like, finally I can stop being the character I am on TV. I'm not that guy, but I just got to play him on TV, and he happens to have the same name as I do.
You're never going to win 6 more championships. You're never going to have that, what you've done. So just walk away, man.
You're 70. That's old enough.
Fuck. I tell you what, I win 2, I'm out. Done. Seriously.
I hear you. Or just win as many as you can, and once you stop winning,
didn't McVay get offered a huge chunk of change from Fox or somebody to jump on after one?
Yeah,
like, it was like $10-12 million a year to work 1 day a week. Yeah, you got to do your research and everything else, but okay, sure, 100%. Mm-hmm. I'm out.
No, yeah. Show me the door. Well, like, what's his nuts? Ed Ogeron, who won that title with LSU.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, Ed, we're going to have to let you go. Oh, what about the remaining salary? Oh, don't worry. You'll still get your $22 million. Just show me the door.
Yeah.
Show me the door. Which door do I walk out? This one or that one?
Which door do I walk out, and make sure you have my mailing address?
Yeah. So is this direct deposit? Or
what are we doing here? What are we doing here? And I'm good? Yeah.
Go right. Tigers. Yeah, go Ed. I'm going out this fucking door with my fucking pants around my ankles full of cash.
I understand these guys that hang around, and I don't get it. Like, when it's over, it's over. Like, it's weird. It's weird to me. My fuck that team, Dave. Jesus. It's so tough because there's so many teams that really fucked me throughout the season. And there's so many teams that, because I'm an idiot, that I thought were going to really help me out in my quest to win the Bulldog pool for the first time ever. But you know what? You know who I'm going to be? Fuck that team. And it's time. Another guy is time to go. It is fuck that team is the Seattle Seahawks. Yes, they did win their last game, but it is time for the people in our area. We watch a lot of, if you have like here we get a lot of Seattle, Spokane television for those of us who have cable television, and we have hopes of a team that get lied to a lot about the Seattle Seahawks being a contender. It's time, and another one of those guys, it's time to go. Pete Carroll and the rest of it. And I'm a big Coach Carroll guy from his days at USC. But the Seattle Seahawks, you know what? Fuck that team. It's time to go and start over, start fresh, because you're going nowhere quick. Fuck the Seattle Seahawks.
Fuck, they just live on my fuck that team list. And you're right. Pete Carroll, and he's 72 and look how young and
time
he's
to go.
Full of life and he's
chewing gum and best hair in football.
Yeah, he hasn't lost his drive or his passion. Well, you know what? He hasn't lost anything, but he hasn't won fuck all, and he's missing playoffs. He doesn't have a quarterback. Geno Smith, good for you. Like, honestly, good for you. You've I don't know if he's rectified his career, rejuvenated a career. I imagine he'll have a job next year, but I think Geno Smith has also showed us that he's good. He's Kirk Cousins. I don't even know if he's Kirk Cousins good, but he's better than a lot, but there's a lot better than him. So I don't know what Seattle's going to do going forward. And I don't know if Pete Carroll's going to be a part of it, because I could give a fuck what happens to that team and their coach.
Yeah, it's just like I said, we see them a lot here on TV and Spokane News, Seattle News, everything else. So it's time to maybe everybody's got to just cool their jets with Seattle Seahawks. They won their one Super Bowl. They should have won 2. No one still knows why they didn't pass the ball off to Marshawn Lynch, but whatever, one of those things. But it's time, you know what? Fuck off. Fuck the Seattle Seahawks. Fuck them. Fuck them all.
I did see on the Twitter machine today that today was the anniversary of the Beast Mode, the Beast Quake. That was a hell of a run.
Today was actually also the anniversary of the Music City Miracle.
Yes. Frank Wycheck to whatever.
Wycheck to, I got it written down here somewhere.
Jones?
No, it was Dyson.
Dyson, yeah.
Yeah, Dyson.
Oh,
Kevin Dyson.
Bills.
And I still think that was a bit of a forward pass. If we had the technology today that we had that we didn't have 30 years ago, that was a forward pass, or it was very close.
It was so close, but you look at the path of the ball along that line from the one camera angle, right? It was you couldn't in good conscience overturn it. It was as close as it got.
What a play.
And just Buffalo's gonna Buffalo.
There it is. Anyways, the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, 4 Beer Sports Talking a whole lot more. This segment is brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420pod at SeatGeek.com today and save yourself $20 and get yourself some tickets for next year's Michigan Wolverines National Championship victory parades and whatever else going to happen there. And you just had Harbaugh's dad giving the victory speech over there. It's fucking weird. It's weird. Anyways.
Well, why not? Your son only wins once. Jesus. But that'd be a pretty cool feeling.
No, it is. Look, I'm not downplaying that. It's just, when was their last one?
I think they actually beat Washington. It was still when they were voting.
Yeah, that would have been for sure.
I want to say, oh, fuck.
91.
97? No, I want to say 97.
Nobody wants to hear us. Nobody wants to hear us. Whatever it is.
Are you thinking of going to a game or a concert in the coming days ahead, or do you already have tickets and want to upgrade where you're sitting? It's simple. Go to SeatGeek.com or the SeatGeek app. They have tickets for all sports going on right now, as well as concert tickets to shows throughout North America. And to make things even better, use promo code 1420pod, that's 1420pod, and receive $20 off your first purchase. Once again, that's promo code 1420pod at SeatGeek.com or the SeatGeek app.
The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, 4 Beer Sports Talking a whole lot more. This segment's brought to you by Brand new sponsor for us and the 1420 Sports Bar podcast and Belly Up Sports, Righteous Felon Jerky. Go to righteousfelon.com and use promo code Belly Up to save yourself 15% off on the best in craft jerky with 15 different flavors to choose from over there at righteousfelon.com. Make sure you check out that, say the best in beef jerky out there. Dave, you had the privilege, I guess, or the of going to a hockey game on Friday night. First time you've been to a Hurricanes game, probably in quite some time, to see your relative play. What were your? Let's not talk about your relative there, but what was your thoughts on the hockey game in general?
It was a decent crowd. I was surprised at how many people came out on a Friday night there. Maybe it was the fact that it was a Friday night, but a West Coast team visiting. It was a decent crowd. Was what it was. It was what it was. It was kind of what I expected. I saw one decent open ice hit, and then like when it happened, it was a really good hit. I hit. I just stood up. I hit, and then and then that's it. But it's just a crowd. It's just a game, and people are there. I don't know. Like, it ain't my scene. I don't think it's a super product. I really don't. And I'm not excited to go again. I'll be honest.
No, and that's fine. And I said to you before, and I'm more of a hockey guy than you are, obviously. But the thing is, when I've gone to a few, I've gone to 3 or 4 this year, and it's okay. Like it's obviously I have a revisionist history and everything else, and I think it's great, and I expect more when I go to a junior hockey game than I get every time, and it does. It's not getting better. It's not getting worse, but it's not getting better. It's not what I hope to get when I, spend my $100 whatever it is night with beers and cabs and on it goes. It's not as good as I remembered it used to be. Maybe it wasn't as good as it was back 20, 30, 40 years ago either, but it's not something that, especially going to the same building, maybe that's it. Maybe going to the same building might be our problem, Dave. We're used to the memories of yesteryear when we go into that old barn, the old Sportsplex here in Lethbridge, that it just doesn't reach expectations.
And that's possible because, that barn has been there as long as I have. Obviously, they've had a couple of remodels since I was knee high, but I remember being able to smoke in that building. I smoked in that building as an adult. It's kind of neat.
You probably smoked in that building as a kid.
Well, no, I just went up with my dad because you couldn't smoke in the seats, but if you stood up on the back thing,
right at the very top, you could
right at the very top.
There was a yellow line. There was a yellow line that made sure smoke didn't infiltrate the rest of the building.
Yeah, behind the
lead paint.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was the invisible sheath of smoke, but nonetheless, yeah. And I remember having some really good memories watching the old Lethbridge Broncos play there. I don't have a lot of great memories with the Hurricanes because, I probably in my life I've probably been to more Lethbridge Bronco games than Lethbridge Hurricane games. I think the Broncos left when I was in grade 8.
They left in 80 after the 85 season.
Yeah, I was going to say it was before I had my driver's license. That's for sure. But yeah, and I would just get dropped off at the games and find my own way home back in the day. It was fun. It was cool. It's not that anymore. It's different. It's different. And I'm not a hockey guy, so I'm not going to shit on it, but it just ain't my bag. It really ain't my bag.
You talked about there was a big hit that happened in that game, or not. I don't know what the hit was that you saw there on Friday night with the Tri-City Americans playing the Lethbridge Hurricanes. But there was a big hit on Friday night. You probably didn't see it live, nor did I, but I saw it the next morning where Connor Bedard took one in the chin against the New Jersey Devils. And it didn't go so well for O'Connor. He's out for probably 4 to 6 weeks with a broken jaw. He took one from Brendan Smith of New Jersey, coming across the blue line, head down, puck in his skates, and he got one in a completely like a clean hit. There was nothing nefarious, nothing headhunting, nothing anybody could ever say. Even Luke Richardson, he was a tough guy himself, and he played in the National Hockey League. Richardson, he said it was a great hit. No, it wasn't dirty at all. I saw it on Saturday morning, and I went, yeah, good hit. Kid caught with his head down, and pretty much just after I saw it, Dave, my brother, it's like it was telepathy or whatever it's called. My brother sent me a message saying, yeah, maybe it's time that we they decided when kids can play in the National Hockey League because they aren't used to body contact anymore. And you saw a bunch of 16 to 20-year-old kids playing on Friday night in a no-hitter in a Nolan Ryan kind of a fucking hockey game where there wasn't anything going on. And my brother said, maybe it's time we limit when kids can play National Hockey League. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. You might agree with my first thought. But then I said, you know what? You wouldn't put a fucking kid into mop-up duty at a high school as an NFL quarterback. So why are we putting kids in the National Hockey League into a National Hockey League game when they're 18 years old?
It's a good point. But these kids at 18 are physically skilled enough. Hockey, the people that run the rules and officiate the game at the NHL level has decided that speed and skill is more important than size and toughness. And if that's the way they're going to push the game, it's never going back. I like what's going to happen. We all see this. It's going to be, in the NFL, they say it's going to be sooner or later. It's just going to be flag football. In hockey, it's going to be, they're going to start refereeing it like they do the women's game, right? Like any open ice hits and this and that, like it's going to be, there's going to be contact, but it's not going to be hitting anymore. And because I think more than player protection, I think it's superstar protection. Because this Connor McDavid stuff, like, it sucks. It really sucks. It was a completely clean hit, but the NHL kingmakers now are shitting their pants because, well, I won't say shitting their pants. They're really disappointed because now Connor McDavid can't play. Connor Bedard can't play in the All-Star game. And now think of all the teams that were going to be on the road trip. That, he just cost visiting rinks tens of thousands of dollars because that's tickets they're not going to sell because people aren't going to be there to watch Connor Bedard. And it sucks, but it happens, and this is the game. So, fuck. It's a hitting game, and I want to see hits, and I'm disappointed that good clean hits are out of the game right now, and I don't know what to do about it. But like the game right now isn't as fun to watch in the regular season. It only becomes entertaining for me on a game-to-game basis when the playoffs start. And I understand. I've said it before. You can't play the intensity that the players bring to the playoff games. You can't play 82 games like that. It's just impossible. Everybody's going to end up in the emergency ward sooner or later.
But what my brother was getting at, and I agree with him, because now, like, I got to thinking, I wasn't like reactionist thinking, I guess one way of putting it. I was thinking, like, you know what, that makes a lot of sense because these kids don't start playing hit hockey nowadays until they're 14, 15 years old. It's different. And I'm not saying it's better. I'm not saying it's worse. I'm not saying that at all. But they only have, like, if a kid like Bedard, let's just use him for example, he's obviously a superstar. But he only played 2 years of hit hockey out in BC, where he's from. Because I know these were the rules out in BC. I'm not sure what they are in Alberta, but I just know this because my Jimmy Neutron was our producer. He played hit hockey when they took it out in a certain age group and they put it in, on it goes. So Bedard only played hit hockey for 2 years before he played junior hockey. And then once you go to the Western Hockey League, you're playing against 20-year-olds and there's 16-year-olds, and the puberty hits guys at different ages, and you're playing against men compared to boys, and on it goes. So basically, Connor Bedard played 2 years, maybe 3, of serious hit hockey before he went to National Hockey League. So now you have guys who played probably there's 30, 34, 35-year-old guys who play in the National Hockey League who've been playing hit hockey for just about as long as Bedard's been alive. Think about that. Think like
I hear what you're saying. If you're like 36, 37 years old in the NHL,
and all of a sudden you're a grit grinder who's still playing in the league and looking for your next contract. Bedard comes across the fucking blue line with his head down. You don't even know what number the kid is. You're like, I'm looking for my next contract. I'm looking for my next fucking meal ticket or whatever it might be. I don't give a fuck if that kid's the face of the NHL for the next 10 years. I'm looking for my contract next year. I'm going to hit this kid. I'm going to do it cleanly. I'm going to do whatever, like how I was taught to do it. But I don't give a fuck if this kid's got his head down. I don't give a fuck if it's Connor Bedard who's got a fucking whatever TV deal, whatever car deal he's got. I'm looking for my next deal, right? So like Bedard's fine for the next 20 years or 15 years. I might not be. So I don't think it's a bad thought that maybe like the guys come out of junior, maybe spend a year in the AHL or something to learn how to play hockey a little bit, because this isn't going to be the last time this happens next 4 or 5 years.
Oh, I would hazard a guess to say that the hitting and possible cheap shotness might even be bigger in AHL than it is in the NHL, because you got guys constantly trying to make their mark and impress someone up the food chain. What I think is I hear it and I understand.
I might have worded that wrong, but I think you know what I'm getting at.
No. I do hear, but like, what about the kid that's a natural at hitting? Like, so you're going to prevent the kid that's ready for hitting to come into the NHL? Like, if you're good enough, you're good enough. And like I said when we first started talking about it, I think the NHL is really starting to push. Like, it's within 5 to 10 for sure. Like, there's going to be, it's going to be no hitting. It's going to be soccer on ice. And I think there's going to be 2 reasons, because with the speed and equipment that these kids have right now, someone is going to get seriously hurt. And number 2, they got to protect their stars, because the stars can't protect themselves. And, and that's like so many different things in life, right? When people, why did they invent helmets? Well, because we need for protection for when we bang each other, because we're skating so hard. Well, don't skate so fast and you don't need a helmet. Don't ride your motorcycle. You don't need, like, why don't we stop doing things that we need helmets for? Right? Like, that's kind of what you're saying, right? You're not ready for it. So we're going to make you wait for it a couple years. Well, no, you have to wear a helmet. Maybe we should stop doing things that we need helmets for.
Well, but then just don't play the game, right? I don't know. I just find it odd that I just there seems to be the push for the game that, well, here it is. Maybe the game's just passed us by, right? Like, maybe the game isn't what we're used to, and it's not coming back. It's not. Because the development of these kids, you watch the World Junior, and I watched Spit and Chicklets this morning. It might not have been from this morning, but Colby Armstrong, he's on Sportsnet and everything else, and he's saying that Canada needs to get back, like, from this. He's talking World Juniors. They're going to get back to not playing Dr. Seuss hockey and crash and bang and go to the net, score a goal, something off the net, Jordan 2-2, all that kind of shit, and that ain't coming back. It's not. Like,
I don't know. Like, can you even get 5 kids that can keep up and play that kind of style of hockey?
I don't think you can. I don't think you can. So that ain't coming back. So maybe it's me and your mindset has to change if we're going to enjoy the game, not this year or next year, but 5 years from now, when you're 98 and I'm 94, like maybe one of those things, maybe it's us that has to change to enjoy the game, and the game ain't, because the game's not changing. It's trajection. I'm not saying projection. I'm not saying dejection. I'm saying it's what it's at. The game isn't going to change. The development of the game isn't changing back to what we know. It's not.
No.
And I don't know if we're wrong in hoping that it does, but I think that we're not unwrong in hoping that maybe there's a bit of a flat line. In what might happen.
A bit of a pushback or something like I don't know, because I was more happy than anybody when they cut down on this clutch and grab and obstruction
and everything else. 100%.
Right, and so maybe they got 100%. And that slowed guys coming through the zone, and it prevented these massive, devastating hits. No, that's not true, because we still saw him all the time when the guy wasn't getting fucking pulling a water skier down the ice. He got
a run Stevens free. Fucking killing, fucking not killing.
Oh yeah,
when you were on Korea and Lindros, everything else, right?
And I understand why, even though we love those hits and they were devastating hits and completely clean, I could see how they were targeting and they were headhunting, even though they were clean, right? Like it's just the motion and for you got to protect the players from each other, and that much I get, because in today's day and age, you
do, but you don't. There's an inherent risk when you play any professional sport. Like you could fall on a guy's fucking leg and break it, right? There's an inherent risk no matter what. And there are guys who are very cheap. And Kevin BX that called out a guy, Nick Cousins, earlier this week on Hockey in Canada on Saturday night. So that guy's a cheap shot.
That Blue Jacket guy, is he? Yeah.
He plays for Florida now, but yeah, same thing. But he's a piece of shit. Like he and basically, if BX was allowed to sit in the 1420 podcast, he would have said he's a piece of shit, but he's on a hockey night, so he just says he's a worm and he's greasy and everything else. And injuries are going to happen no matter what. And I just think that we're protecting kids, or protecting players, and taking away from the action of the game when it's taking away from it. We talked about it the other night. Like it's almost disheartening for something that, like, a game that used to be so fantastic. And you went to a junior hockey game the other night, and it's like, yeah, well, we went.
Well, and here's the thing. I was saying,
and it's not against you, Dave. I've been to junior games for a number of years here in Lethbridge, back when you lived in the Hat there. Yeah, it was all right. I saw that guy. I was more excited to see people in the stands talking to them than I was about the game.
Yeah, it was a social event.
Hey, I saw that guy. The game was all right.
Watching the game. Yeah. I was sitting beside my aunt, whose grandson was on the ice then, right? And then when that hit, like, why do you do that? I go, like, that was the first fucking hit. I miss hitting in hockey. I think they should start outlawing it. Are you serious? It's what makes this game great. And then so now this is now a 74-year-old woman.
So Margaret's age. Yeah.
Yeah. And who watched her son play hockey growing up, right? And I go, did you say this when Kent was a player? Well, no, I didn't think of it that way. But now that it's a grandson on the ice, I'm always worried about it. Well, back then, maybe find a different sport, because it's part of the game. But if people all the way through, and she's watched a shit ton more hockey than I have in my life, and she knows hockey, and she can watch it with an insightful eye, and she thinks maybe it's time. Like, so, like, who am I? Yeah,
maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it. agree with it. My brother, they have a billet out there in Victoria. He's a junior B kid. Now they're wearing full face shields and or masks, and they don't hit as much as they used to, and on it goes. I don't know. Like what's hockey now? It's I don't know.
Yeah, you mentioned that whole thing. Every kid wears the neck brace, the Kevlar neck brace, like a
neck guard,
choker. Yeah, neck guard. Since that kid died in England playing hockey, it's mandatory. Like the whole league has it now.
Yeah,
which it's fine. It looks
that hurts nothing. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where we're going to be. Like just in the 45 years or 44 years, whatever it is, of me watching junior hockey and the National Hockey League, I don't know, God willing, where it's going to be 44 years from where we are now. I don't know. Not even 44 years, 10 years from where we are now.
And I think one of the solutions would be a bigger ice service, like playing the Olympic ice surface all the time. I really do.
Well, what's wrong with somebody getting hit?
Oh, just the speed of the game. Like, yeah, like I get it, but
then learn to not get hit. Cars have gotten faster on the freeway, Dave.
Yeah, I guess have the seatbelts gotten stronger?
Like we used to fucking ride horses to work, and now we have less fucking horse collisions on the highways, right?
we haven't had horse on horse violence in forever.
So maybe learn how to and you said it last week. Learn how to. These guys don't know how to take a hit. You talk about the guys from Barn Burner. Talk about Rhett Warner says these guys don't know how to play hockey anymore.
Yeah, it's a different game.
Is development the problem?
Well, I think it's expectations and coaching, right? And time and I don't. I guess you know what? These kids that become elite, they spend so much time just practicing, and you can't practice getting hit, right? And then now a kid gets picked up to go with the.
Well, you can don't get hit,
right? But you can't practice that in the garage, and then when you go on an all-star team to go here, and then you're on a different team to go there. Yeah, and you're definitely not going there to get hit, right? You're there to showcase your talent, kind of thing. So I don't.
So is hockey killing itself?
I think it is. That's what I think it is.
I was being facetious. I know it is.
No, yeah, it for sure is, because it's not. There's no ham and eggers anymore. There's no kid whose dad is the rinky in Warner, Alberta. There's no dad who the backyard rink a la Walter Gretzky. Those days of yore and nostalgia are gone. Right now, you're just peeling off Benjamins and getting your kid into the best program and in the best camp and getting him the best ice. All the fucking
The thing is, every team still needs that fucking big D man to win.
Mm-hmm.
Every team still needs a third and fourth liner to win. So all these parents who think that their fucking kid, fuck me, and now I'm pissed off now. All of a sudden, all these parents who think that their kid is a fucking first and second liner National Hockey League, they're stupid. And if they don't think they're stupid, have them listen to our show, because I'll tell them to their face. They're stupid. They're actually stupid.
There's no such thing as a grind line anymore. Who has
Las
grind
Vegas
lines
Golden
anymore?
Knights or Vegas Golden Knights or whatever they're called? They won a Stanley Cup last year because they're third and fourth line. Every team has a first and second line. Every team.
But even their third and fourth lines weren't necessarily crash bang grind lines, right? They just won on depth. They were still good players. It wasn't like the Cleary and
Draper and fucking Drury and McCarty, obviously, in like in Detroit.
Detroit back in the day, yeah.
I don't know.
No, I don't know either. But it's a different game, and I don't know what the fans want. people go to fucking hockey games just for the sake of going to hockey games?
Yeah, I do. I actually do.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm an old, like, I watch hockey, I watch baseball, I watch it, I watch that. I don't watch as much hockey as I used to. I don't.
No, neither me. And then, you know what, I think, if I get a hankering for a hockey game, I think I'll just start going to pronghorn games.
They don't have a pronghorn team anymore.
Oh. Well, so I'll have to find something else. Maybe I'll go to AAA Hurricane games. I don't fucking know.
Well, Durst is care. Yeah.
I forgot that the pronghorns don't play hockey anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, well. That shows you how much I miss
thing and everything else. No, it's odd. It's odd.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've always found odd about it is that the people who are behind all these academies and all the money making schemes behind it all, they're my and your age, when hockey was a man's game, but different. But it was different. It was just different, and it changed from the 40s to the 60s, and 60s to the 80s, and 80s to 2000 to 2020s. It has. It's not better. It's not better. And anybody who wants to argue with me, I will. They can sit here in the 1420 podcast until I'm blue in the face. Hockey is not better than it was 30 years ago. It's not.
Not in my opinion. Yeah, it's different. And yes, like everybody is going to make the argument. Well, these kids are so much more skilled. There's more skill in the NHL than there ever has been. Yes, but it doesn't make it better, right? Doesn't make it better.
No,
it's not. The product isn't as good, in my opinion. And I never played organized hockey a day in my life, but I definitely know how to watch a game of hockey and keep up and know what's going on.
I played organized hockey at a pretty high level, and I can tell you right now, it's not better. And anybody who says it is, they're lying. They're lying 100%.
Yeah.
But anyways, Dave, you got who is better sitting around your book there? What's going on?
Who is better? I didn't realize we were going to.
No, what would you rather? Sorry, would you rather?
Oh, would you rather?
We have our weeks all screwed up and everything else. The holiday season, me moving,
Christmas,
kind of Christmas and things and stuff. And what did you have for dinner last night?
Oh, spaghetti and meatballs and Caesar salad.
Chef Boyardee.
No, I make a pretty mean pasta sauce. So I had that seasoning simmering all day, and then I made the meatballs, browned those up nicely, put them in the sauce for the simmer for the last 3 hours, and she was good. It was thumbs up all around for everybody. It was really good. It was really good. Fuck, I can eat pasta all day, every day. Like
I'm not down on that. Like I'm not against that at all either. Yeah, a good pasta, like it's there, it's good. It's every time
with homemade sauce.
Yeah.
Whew,
we had a seafood pasta on. Obviously, we caught it right out of the Old Man River on Friday afternoon. It was really, really good on Friday there. Jesus, Deanne made something, but obviously it wasn't cut out of the Old Man River. But yeah, no, it was she made something that was it was good. Quite enjoyable. You got nothing?
I don't have anything. I actually have some notes here from last week. After I got a little bit into it and I had my book with me, and I can't read 3 lines of it. I was in a hurry, obviously. I was in a hurry, or I was one eye drawing.
Well, that happens.
Yeah.
Not at the top of your head. Who would you rather, or who is?
Would you rather be a Buffalo Bills fan or a Houston Texans fan?
Going into this weekend?
No, forever. Like for the last 10, 15 years and going forward.
Oh. Actually, I'm just going to go to what I said. Going into this weekend, I would rather be a Houston Texans fan because this is new beginnings, right? You got a quarterback, CJ Stroud. and you have a chance to maybe win a game. I think a Houston Texans fan know they aren't winning fuck all this year, so they're like, hey, anything we get from here on in is bonus. Like, it's bonus. And they're not playing at home, so you know what? I don't got to spend any money. It's good. Whatever. But being a Buffalo Bills fan, years and years of fucking heartache and losing 4 in a row. And then we talked about earlier on about the Music City Miracle, which was 20 some years ago today, and knowing that they're just destined to not win again this year. Like, there's a good chance they're going to not a good chance. There's a chance they're going to find a way to lose again this weekend. I would way rather go to bed on Friday night with the thought of having my team, hey, this is fun. Whereas going to bed on Friday night thinking, oh, fuck.
Not
We're
again.
Fucking lose again. The fucking Steelers are going to fuck us again, or someone's going to fuck us again. And if we survive this week, well, we're just going to lose again next week. So actually, and that's probably Bills fan is probably, well, we might as well just lose this week because we're going to lose next week anyways. What's the point? Like, what's the point?
What is
right? Does that make sense?
Well, you could say the same thing about Eagle fan until 5 years ago, right? Like, because Eagle fan got close, licked the jar a couple times.
They got one,
but they got there, right? But was the previous 30 years of being an Eagle fan worth that one 5 years ago with old Big Dick? So think how sweet. So what if Josh Allen protects the ball for 4 more games and they finally hoist
but they know he's not going to.
But they pray to the football gods and just, come on, Josh, don't let him don't turn it over. Don't turn it over, because he has all world talent. It's just he really makes bad mistakes when the money's
Black & Decker tools with a Walmart toolbox. Right?
And he made a career out of that game against Mahomes, that overtime thriller, where they changed the rules because of him.
I would rather have, as a sports fan, as a fan of a team, I would way rather have youthful exuberance and like, okay, we have, we're a better team this year than we were last year. We you know what? We're in the playoffs, we win, whatever from here on in is bonus. I'd way rather have that than, well, fuck. We ain't going to win 2. There's no way we win 4 in a row.
Would you rather be a Buffalo Bill fan or a Vancouver Canuck fan?
Right now?
Yeah.
Canucks fan.
Because they've never done it. Like Canuck, like that's probably the most the best comparison between sports.
Yeah.
What?
No, I'd rather be a Canucks fan right now.
Because you think they're on the up and they're
on the up and up.
Whereas Buffalo is kind of at the
They
peak,
know it's going to go sideways.
Yeah, they gotta reach for that ring now because it's
going to go sideways. It's going to. They could be done by the time we're recording this time next Monday. They could be done.
Well, that's true, but
most Bills fans expect it. There isn't one Bills fan right now. Like, who was the guy we had who's the lead of your fantasy football league?
Daryl, Daryl
knows they aren't winning. If you sent Daryl message morning, what's your percentage of the Buffalo Bills winning the Super Bowl this year? He'd be like -10%.
Oh no, he would lie to himself. I think, and I kind of appreciate that, and that's why Bills fan is quite similar to Canucks fan. Canucks fan and Leaf fan. Like, Leaf fan hasn't.
No, Leaf fans know they're not winning.
They've come because they haven't even been in the Stanley Cup final. At least in my lifetime, Vancouver's been there 3 times.
82, 94, and 11.
Right. So 3 times. And I don't and Toronto's never made the Stanley Cup final in my life.
And not mine or your lifetime, no.
No. That's a long fucking time. Buffalo's been there like 4 times. So
would it be worse to never be in the finals like the Leafs have? Never in the finals in our lifetime. Or lose 4 in a row and have the optimism, not the optimism, the fake hope that the Bills give the Bills fans. 4 in a row losing's tough.
4 in a row is losing tough, but it's a fun ride for the playoffs. You know, that's a month of joy.
Fuck me, man. No way.
It would be tough. But, you know, and then, like, so I guess then the comparative in Major League Baseball would be the Indians. Because I've seen the Indians in the World Series 3 times, right? Sorry, the Cavaliers. What are we calling these fuckers now? Guardians.
Well, they were the Indians when they were losing.
Yeah. Yeah, the Guardians have never been in a World Series. You're right.
No, they were the Cleveland Indians when they were losing.
The Indians and the Canucks.
In fact, even the Cleveland Indians in the Major League lost twice.
Right. Yeah, so even when it's a feel-good fictional story,
even when someone's writing the script, they still fucking lose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if my little heart can take it that many times in a row, and the hopes and dreams. You're not going to not hope for your team, but when it's over, like, you're like, fuck me. Would you ever give up? Like, if you had it, like, this year was a pretty shitty year for your football team, for the Denver Broncos. Would you, if they had 3 or 4 more years like this, would you go like, bid adieu? I'm good.
No, like I said, I divorced one team, and I'm not gonna divorce the Broncos unless something goes right fucking sideways. It's ownership is what caused me to divorce the Oilers. If an owner, like, I gotta imagine there's a lot of Commodore fans that have divorced the team formerly known as the Redskins because of their asshat owner. Like, what's the sense? If the franchise doesn't care, why am I going to care? Like, it's an abusive relationship. Whereas a team like, you know, the Cubbies, Boston Red Sox back in the day, those fans eventually were rewarded because I think they were trying. A lot of franchises now.
Well, the Cubs had that one in 86, 80, I think 86. They had that.
The Moises Alou, the Steve.
No, that was 2003.
With Moises, yeah. So I don't know. Like, it's, but if you're there, you're there, and then I guess you can, as long as you don't take it too seriously, you can let it run forever, right? So my seriousness and fandom, I still obviously cheer and care, but I don't let the losses get me down too much, and I can still enjoy the wins. And that's why I had to let the Oilers go, because like those guys didn't fucking care about me. So why would I care about them?
Well, yeah, no, I get it. I get it. You just, I don't know. I just wonder where
the line is.
Where the line is. I get. So what it comes down to is how seriously you take it. Right?
Yeah.
And really, like, I got all this Yankee shit behind me. And how seriously should you take it? Right? Like, at the end of the day, like, it's a game, it's a team, you love it. But then you wake up and well, gotta work.
You know, as long as it gives you more pleasure than pain, right? Like, and that's part of life. No matter what, like, if it's all sunshine and roses every day, then like you're gonna have a bad days, because how would you know what a good day feels like unless you have a bad one every now and then?
That's a very good point, Dave. I wasn't going to bring this up, but now that I've had a couple beers in me, our show on Thursday, put it up on YouTube there. It's done pretty good for a lot of people watching there, and about the Aaron Rodgers situation. And there were 3 people who chose to voice their opinion on our opinion, and which they're entitled to, and it's fine. It's 100% fine. I just find it funny, and I'm gonna lay the line. I don't care what people say about our show because they went out of their way to click on whatever they clicked on to watch it on YouTube, and I just find it funny that people go out of their way to voice negative opinions about what people have to say. Like I said, I don't care. And I sent those comments to you. I just find it funny that what we commented on, they voiced our opinion of what we were commenting on a little bit.
Yeah, it's
odd.
Let's just get a fucking life. Like, it was so far removed from anything. This is our opinion on someone else's opinion. And then so they which is all we do. We give our opinions on other people's opinions, and then we make our own opinions, and then we talk about our opinions. That's our whole fucking show. But then we Aaron Rodgers, we talk about him, and that brings the fucking whack jobs out of the woodwork. Like, Jesus fucking Christ! It's funny how some topics people are so entrenched in, and if anybody wants to question someone famous that they agree with, then we're fucking idiots. I just crawl back in your fucking cave.
Like, there was the one that got me, and I'll read it. It was from YT_Parker. He said, "Why are you making a video as if Aaron is going to see this? LOL, lol. And you have 200 subs and 32 views," which it has more than that now. But I can tell you're a liberal Democrat. This is the worst channel on YouTube. First off, I'm not a liberal. And second off, I'm not a Democrat. And yes, we only have 200 subscribers, but you know what? Whatever. Who cares? But you still tracked us down and watched our video, and you watched long enough to comment, and you went out of your way and to make a comment. And you talked about this guy named Aaron. Like, this Aaron doesn't know you either, dude. I just found it funny. Like, I once again, I could give a fuck. I just find it funny that we're like, I'm laughing at this guy. Like, even when it first came out the other day, I was like, that's funny. And then I forgot about it. And Deanne goes, she said, "I'm glad you guys don't care when people negative things." Like, yeah, I don't care. I'm 50. I could give a fuck.
I could give a fuck. But his likes aren't paying my bills, so what the fuck do I care what he has to say?
Yeah.
And it sounds like we wouldn't be friends anyways.
Yeah. Limp wrist. And then the other one, who was the other guy here? Bench Riot 1299. 2 limp-wristed old guys with sandy vaginas crying about Rodgers. Pass on this video. Well, first off, I don't know what. Maybe you must be assuming that the limp wristed thing. I'm assuming you're anti-gay, and yeah, we're old. Whatever.
I got quite strong wrists, so I have a very good grip. My strength, my strength to weight ratio is pretty high.
Yeah, it's just
even
odd.
for an old fuck.
The old fan of the van, Jim, he came to our defense tonight. He goes, "If you don't like it, don't watch it, man. Who cares?
Beat it.
Yeah.
Use our promo codes, but just shut your fucking mouth.
No, actually beat it. Just beat it.
Well, I'll take 10.
Or keep watching. Or keep watching. Whatever.
Yeah, maybe you'll come around. You'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out. You might figure it out. No, I found those pretty funny. That there's been more throughout the week. I just find it funny that people get that bent out of shape about 2 guys. We're just bullshitting, drinking some beers, and hoping that something clicks. We weren't hurting anybody. Weren't doing anything wrong. We just disagree with what Aaron Rodgers said, and this I just find it funny. I find it funny.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. It's funny how certain topics gets the idiots to chime in, but oh well.
Yeah.
Every village needs an idiot.
Well, and most of them watch our show. Anyways, the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, 4 Beer and Sports, talking a whole lot more. Dave, what do you got going on the rest of the week? It's only Monday. Your Michigan Wolverines, they won themselves a natty. First time since 1909. Congratulations to you, because that hat you're wearing is about that old.
Oh, this one's I had to blow the dust off it. This isn't this is before Jordan brand, right? So I don't wear it a lot, but I brought it out. I'm always worried about the Jinx, but I figured they deserved it. They won in
Got a very good team.
Yeah, they had a very good team, and it's good to hear you finally recognize. And to all our podcast family that were for Bama, and I'm sure they were all cheering for Washington tonight.
I was.
I'm glad the Wolverines made fools out of all you.
That's the last Pac-12 football team to ever play football again. Right there tonight. Crazy.
That is nuts. And now, they'll be divisional rivals maybe next year.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Dave, she's winner hit. Okay, I'm in a new neighborhood here. New neighbors, la. We should have talked to them before. We'll end the show on this. Snowed yesterday. Person across the back, they were fucking shoveling their fucking back deck at 8 a.m. I was like, dude, let it go, man. Like, what's the proper time to shovel in the hood?
Oh, way before that. My
Sunday. It's a Sunday.
On a Sunday? Well, then that might be a little bit early, but maybe he had company and he had to clear around the smoker or something like that. Yeah, because on a weekday, it's done by 7 here at 13:02. But on a Sunday, fuck, you got to suck it up. Maybe he.
I was fine. I was just like, oh, I got to step up my game
before going to church. Yeah,
I will make sure I do it before I go to church.
Yeah, pour your coffee and go down to the cave and ignore it.
Dave, the next time I shovel, it'll be before I go to church.
As long as it's done before you go to church, you're okay.
Yeah, I'll be fine. That snow will melt before I go to fucking church.
God will take care of it for you.
God will take care of it. Mother Nature and the good Lord Jesus Christ will take care of that snow before I will shovel that. Yeah, on a Sunday. Jesus Christ. But actually, the neighbor, there's like Layton's next door. There's a definitive spot where he stopped yesterday morning.
He didn't give you a courtesy pass?
No, there's a definitive spot where he stopped at 8 a.m. yesterday morning. I was like, okay, there it is. There it is. Now
because what I do, like I said, I don't shovel the whole walk, but I give a courtesy pass in case pedestrians and dog walkers, so you don't pack the snow. So maybe you better give him a courtesy pass. Does he have a driveway as big as yours?
Same size.
Okay, yeah, I would give the courtesy pass, but if he wants to draw those battle lines in week 2, then
Chad stopped at a certain spot. I was like, all right, there it is. That's your first shot. Yeah, here it is. Like the new neighbor, you would just maybe help out.
Yeah, but you guys have history, so maybe it's like, fuck that guy right off the hop.
Oh, being an immigrant.
He's announcing his presence with authority a little bit here.
He's been here for a long time, so.
Yeah, and so if
but in my defense, if he would have done mine, I do him for the rest of this winter season.
Have you? Has he come over and said, "Hey, welcome to the neighborhood"?
Not yet, no. So maybe it is me.
Yeah, so it has been like 3 weeks now. How about a tray of muffins or something like that? Anything?
Well, it's Deanne's problem.
What a bunch of fucks.
Well, she came with some candles or something. Leader did.
Candles? You can't eat a candle.
Well, maybe Deanne stinks or something.
Can you drink a candle? Can't eat a candle?
No.
Candle. Was it her birthday? Candles.
A lot going on there. Anyways, the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. 4 beers, sports talking a whole lot more. Take care of yourself, more important. Take care of yourself. Easy around. Keep your stick on the ice. What else, Dave?
No swinging at high pitches, Jim, and never buy me a fucking candle, please.
Never buy me a candle. I got lots. Have a
I
good
don't
night,
have
folks.
one.
We'll talk to you on Thursday night.
Not everybody.